Start over. All right, rewind that. Okay, so we have a 6-foot run. I've explained that already. So we have 6 step-offs of 12 inches each as far as our run. Okay? All right? So the first thing you're going to do is grab your speed square, take it to the top of the rafter, put the pivot point there, rotate up until you got 6 at the top of the rafter on the top cut common. Scribe your first cut, X there. Okay? Then I take my framing square, and I'm going to mark off my first run. If it's a 6 pitch, do I use this or this to indicate the 6 pitch? The little one. This is always your rise. This is always the run. The run is down here. So I set the 6 of the tongue at the bottom of my rafter, and I lay my blade out. What number do I look for here? 12. Make a little mark.
Is it always 12? No matter
Always 12 on the run. Always 12. And that's the answer to one of the other questions. Okay? So I put my speed square at the bottom, line it up with that mark, rotate the 6 to the top, and I mark it, and I put a 1 here. Once I've done that step off, you can simply say repeat this process for the other 5 runs. Okay? Let's assume that for the sake of this, I'm going to do this 6, 12. I can do this with the framing square too, but I'd rather get used to it. There's 2. I'll see how many I can make. There's 3. And I can probably make 1. I don't think I can make 1 more, but I can use this. Make my 6 pitch here. Let's say that this is number 6. Okay, I've only made 1, 2, 3, 4, but let's assume that's number 6. And I don't know if I can get 5 out of it. Well, maybe I could. Let's just do it. There we go. We got 5 of the 6 runs we need. Because I said my run was 6 feet. Okay, so this is 4. Let's just say that's our 6th. This very last one, what is this called right here? Edge of building. Write EOB or edge of building here just to designate that. Okay? All right? If I wanted a 12-inch overhang, is that just one more run? Are each of these runs 12 inches at the bottom? Right? Mm-hmm. So if I want a 12-inch overhang, say this is edge of building, I simply come out to my edge of building mark. I put my 6 or whatever the pitch is down. 12, make a mark, scribe my line, that's my edge of building. Let's move this back like I had originally. Call this the edge of building. And this would then be my overhang. You put an OH here, that would get cut off. Let's say this was our 6th run. I had a 6-foot run. This was our 6th run of 12. Edge of building. All I do to create the overhang is to repeat this process one more time with a 12-inch. If I had a 6-inch overhang, I would line my tongue up here on the cut line, come out to 6, make my get my pitch, line that up, mark down here, rotate this to 6 up here. There's my 6-inch overhang, there's my 12-inch. I'm not going to have you do anything that's not increments of 12 today, except on some math. Okay? All right? So, edge of building, if I want a 12-inch overhang, I simply repeat the process one more time to get my overhang. All right? Seat cut. How do I do that? Well, this is my edge of building. Okay. Line this up, your speed square, with your pitch mark at the edge of building. Always, you must state that the seat cut is at the edge of building mark. Okay? Come up how far?
1.5 inches.
1.5 inches. And you grab your framing square like this. Take the tongue, line it up with the pitch line. Go 3.5 inches out. When the 3.5 hits the bottom edge and you're lined up here pretty good, you simply make a mark. That's your seat cut. and that's where it sits on top of the edge of the building. Okay? That in a nutshell is the step-off method. Okay? All right? As long as you understand that we start by making a mark at the top, our ridge cut with the speed square. Whatever the pitch is, that number goes at the bottom of that mark to 12. We make a little tick mark, and we continue to make those marks down until we have the total number of runs we need. If I have a 7-foot span, how many of those separate runs do I need to make? How many? 7. If I have an 8-foot span, if I have a 22-foot span, 22 of those. That's the step. Every one of those is a step of 12 inches at the bottom. The horizontal, this part, will be a little bit more. Okay? All right. Let's book on. That's question number 15. Slope indicates the what of a road? What does it indicate? Steepness of a road, and that is called pitch. Okay? Unit blank over unit blank. Rise over run. Okay? The horizontal is always what number?
12.
12. The horizontal is always 12. The vertical number can be what? Normally 0 to 12. Okay? Normally 0 to 12. But we can go up to a 24 pitch, which is basically a vertical pitch. Okay? If your vertical number is 7, you have a 7-12 pitch. What does that mean?
7 inches.
What?
7 inches up every 12 inches over.
7 inches up every 12 inches out. So at 24 inches, I'm up 14. Right?
Yeah.
All right? So for every 12, you're going to go up 7. If it's an 8 pitch, for every 12, you go up 8. If it's a 2 pitch, for every 12, you go up 2 inches. Okay? That's important to understand. Outside to outside of my building, what is that called?
The wall?
No, that measurement. Outside to outside is called what?
Span.
Span. Half of that is
Run.
run. Why do we need to know the run number?
6 feet on center.
No. Run is, are we building a rafter for the whole building or half? The building or rafter. So we need to know how many units of 12 that we have. This is a 2-foot run. How many units of 12? 2. If this was a 4-foot run, how many units of 12? 4. The run simply tells you how many units of 12, which tells you how many times you must step off when you make the rafter. Okay? That grade tool is called a what?
Speed square.
Speed square. 2 things you need to know about the speed square are this. Pivot point. And this. Top cut, common rafter. We only use those 2 right now. This is a framing square. This is called what? This is called what? This is the rise, this is the run. Tongue, blade, rise, run. Got it? Got it. Okay? This number is always 12. This number right on here has got 0 to 16. Okay? All right? Yeah. Okay, let's go through the last difficult part of this. Oh, by the way, before we put these on, what's this? What goes down the middle between the 2 sets of rafters? What's this called?
Ridge beam.
Ridge beam. Okay? And we have the ridge beam supports as well. They hold up the opposite ends of the ridge. Okay? So we put that down. I did not ask you to describe what you do. You have to cut 3/4 of an inch off each end of those rafters when you're done. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to the other math part of this. Take a look at this so we understand what we're doing. This right here, by the way, 90-degree triangle, correct? Run, rise. What's this on a 90-degree triangle called? Hypotenuse or the long side. The long side is the hypotenuse. Okay? If we want to know the length of a rafter of this side, the long side, for every 12 inches, we're going to look at this table. If I have an 8 pitch, I look at the top line, and for every 12 inches this way, and 8 inches this way, this part will be 14.42 inches, okay? If I have a 7 pitch, 13.8 times. For a 6, 13.42. For a 5, 13. As these numbers get smaller, my hypotenuse, or the long side, gets smaller as well. As they get bigger, the hypotenuse also gets longer. Okay, if your rafter is a 4 pitch, for every 12 inches, how long will that hypotenuse be? Somebody tell me.
12.65?
Yes. There's a question exactly like that on the test. You have to look at this little picture and tell me what pitch I give you, what the length of one run would be. That's one run. If I have a run of 14 feet and a pitch of 8, I need a calculator on this. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Run 14 feet. If I have a run of 14 feet, how many units of 12 do I have? 14. If my pitch is 8, each unit of run will be how many, each unit on the long side will be how many inches? Look it up. Where's the 8 pitch?
14.28. I mean 21.
14.42. So what is the total length? How will I find the total length of that long side then? 14 feet, each 12 inches is 14.42. What do I got to do?
14 times 14.
Multiply it. Tell me what you get. Calculator, go.
I don't math.
You may use your calculators on your phones for this or on your computer, okay?
201.
We did this, didn't we do this in class? Remember how to get the 0.88 to a portion of an inch? What do we multiply this 0.8? So we have 201 total inches. How do I get that into inches from decimals? What do I multiply by? How many increments are in between a 12 and a 13, 11, 12? How many little lines? 16. Take 0.88 times 16 for me, please. Okay, 14.08 inches. I'm going to cancel the decimal because it's a small number. If it was 14.5, I'd round up. So I have 14 out of 16. So I have 201, reduce 14 over 16 for me. 7/8. 201 and 7/8 of an inch would be the total length of that rafter. Okay? There's a question that gives you a pitch, gives you a run, and you have to tell me what the answer is in inches, not decimals of an inch, but fractions of an inch. So you get the total length of 201 inches, and you'll multiply by 7, and you'll multiply the decimal times 16, add that to the total number of inches, and you got the total inches. All right? Okay, shut her off. Please tell me I'm